Nick, fuck you.
Why'd you call on me first?
Because now I'm not. Because you ruined my cadence.
Call on me.
Call on me.
We started at different parts.
I'm just gonna let that be
The intro.
Yeah. Do you know? Should you know? Time, everybody. After a little post trying to do the intro singing.
Eric Prinz.
Do you guys know how to public speak? Can you do it?
I thought you were gonna say how to write in scripts.
No, that's
That's a good one. That's a good
I
one.
have to save that for a
Spoiling
rainy day.
that. That's a spoiler teaser.
I am terrified of public speaking.
Me too.
Speaking.
Nick.
I have the opposite. I definitely feel pretty comfortable with speaking in public, but there's a caveat to that as well. It all depends on how prepared I am in going into it. Like if I know what I'm going to be talking about, it's extremely easy for me to not get nervous. It's extremely easy for me to be ready and ground myself with like, hey, you prepared, you know what you're talking about, just say what you're going to talk about. That simple. It's much more nerve-wracking, at least in a classroom setting, where if I have to talk about something that maybe I put together the night before and I didn't really study as much, then I'm much more nervous for that type of presentation. If it's spontaneous, like for instance, a lot of this is spontaneous. This is much easier for me than any other medium of public speaking in terms of classroom presentations.
For me, like what you just said, like this is why I hate like this shit because, well, I mean, just this is us, so I'm not fucking nervous in front of you guys. Like that's not a thing. But I could be like the biggest fucking idiot, like in public and in crowds, and I don't give a fuck. Like at parties, I'll go talk to every motherfucker. Like I don't really care. I mean, alcohol does influence that, but for some reason, in front of the classroom, I just can't
Shut down.
I get sweaty in my head, but I don't think I actually sweat. But I get like hot. It's like you get that like mouth where you can't even speak, and I hate it. Like you know where you're fighting like to get the words out because you're like so nervous.
Up, yeah.
And I've always done them, but I always hated that night before. That was like literally one of the biggest reasons I was so excited to graduate college. I was like, I will never have to do another presentation, and I hated that. I hated it so much, and like when I was at my community college. We did a presentation in front of like, me and this girl made the class the psych course and an honors course, so we had to do like a special project, and we presented in front of like 100-something people, like a PowerPoint on the culture in Mexico for whatever reason, and for some reason I was able to do it just fine. Like I think if there was so many people that it like opposite affected where. Like I guess in a classroom setting, it's more personable. Like I know the people.
Yeah.
Like
and you could see them just staring at you.
But on the contrary, like which this is why I get annoyed. I had a class my last semester at Arcadia was Laughing Matters, and it was like this class where all we did was play like icebreaker games and stuff. And like I didn't really know anyone in the class when we started, but by the end of it, like we all became like pretty close. And then once the class was over, unfortunately, we didn't talk too much after. They're all great people, but in the beginning, I was like. Everyone was like all a little bit nervous with icebreaker activities, but since we're doing this shit, we're like holding hands and we're playing games and like we're doing all this like weird type of shit with each other. Yeah, we all became close, and then we had to do presentations at the end, and I was even like a little bit nervous. Like I was fine for that one, but I was still a little bit nervous. I was like, I'm comfortable with now literally everyone in the classroom. Why am I having this problem? And I wish I could fix it, but
yeah,
no,
I don't know. So maybe I'll be fine, and then once I fuck up once, the rest of the time is just it's fucked.
If you like stutter or
yeah, like and then I'll just think about it, yeah, and it's just gone from there.
Yeah.
I hate public speaking.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. If that was like part of my major, I would fucking switch my major.
No, that was literally me. I couldn't take a public speaking course. I made sure that my major didn't require that. So like there was another approach I could have done for. At community college for psychology, but I did the general studies because it involved me not having to take public speaking. Like I wouldn't be able to do it.
Like I feel like at OCC, so many people would like they'd go into the public speaking class, and then like by the third class there'd be so many people that dropped it that you're literally only speaking in front of probably like 8 people.
Yeah, and for some reason it almost has like an opposite because it's that thing where it's like it's more personable. But like I've even me and my girlfriend, who's now been on the show, so people know who that is. We presented at a psychological conference in New York City because our work got published that we did, and like random people would come up to you, and that stuff I'm perfectly fine. It's not a big deal. Like I'm presenting my work. at Arcadia, we had to do a senior thesis. So I did my senior thesis on, which I might make a video on our channel one day, on the effects of violence, specifically in video games, but all types of the effects of playing video games. And random people were coming up to me, and that stuff I'm fine. It's just in front of the classroom ruins me, and I don't get it.
Maybe because all eyes are on you in that sense, whereas in the other mediums you're talking about, people, just a few people are coming up to you, but they're going and doing their own thing. It's not pure.
I guess
focus
it's
on
just
you.
the one that ruined it is when I gave that presentation in front of so many people, and I was like, why did I kill it? Like, why did I do so good here and I can't do it in front of a classroom? But I don't know. It's something I wish I could do, and I wish I didn't dread it, because it made so many, even in high school, it was worse. Because high school, we all, you knew who everyone was, but you didn't care for some people, or you were fucking embarrassed with some people or whatever.
Or you had a crush on someone.
Yeah. Little crushy poo. Little high school crushy poo. Or you're in front of fucking your boys in high school, so if
that's
you
a
fucking
train wreck.
butcher it, that's the worst part.
Well, not only that, but you're also being antagonized from the crowd.
Oh yeah.
People are looking at
College,
you.
at least
with
It's
everyone
also
smile.
high school and everyone's an asshole.
Yeah.
So
that was even worse. But I don't know. I wish I had the power to do it. So I was just curious, because I
it's a
felt
good skill
like
to have.
Nick. I really didn't know with you, Mike, if you were, but I felt like you were one that was good with public speaking.
And why is that? Why did you come to that conclusion?
Because I don't know, you're a lot to deal with. So I felt like you're very articulate, and that's why I hate you 95% of the time. So I felt like you'd be fine with that. But Mike, I didn't know where he was at, because some people will surprise me that are either really good at public speaking or really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to. I won't do too much details to put this specific person on blast. God knows she doesn't watch this, but I was in a class with a girl, and she was up to give a presentation, and she was one of the best students in the class. And I never really talked to her on a personal level, but I just knew. She got up to present, and she shut down, started crying, and had to remove herself from the college class. And
fuck?
yeah, I was it caught me so off guard, because I was I thought you were a fucking top student, but I guess she just said she felt like she wasn't prepared, and then she came back and did the presentation 2 weeks later and was perfectly fine. But it was what you were speaking to, if you weren't prepared, and she wasn't, and she started.
That's
pressure
crazy.
just got to her.
Yeah, and I was fuck. That never happened to me before. I never saw anyone break down that bad. But as I got older too, there was those kids who, when they were presenting, if they were an ummer, are you an ummer? Or do you just black out?
I like that.
Yeah. I guess sometimes.
There
It depends. I get little ticks, I guess.
There's always one kid who's a fucking ummer,
Oh, yeah.
and I would focus. I never heard a word he said, but I would just listen. Yeah. So we would talk, and this is going to happen, and beer, yum.
but
Yeah, that's bad too. I couldn't.
And
And I felt bad, and I always felt I always tried to keep I would look at the person until they looked towards me, and then I would look down. So I would because I didn't want everyone to always be looking at me if I made eye contact with them. So I would try to do as much as I could, and then I hated the fucking people who were on their cell phones or shit while you were presenting.
Well, I know somebody else who took a public speaking class, and they said when you're presenting, you kind of just
Look
float on
above.
the top of the heads and just keep scanning back and forth and kind of do it like that, so you're not making eye contact directly.
Yeah, I felt like I focused on the teachers a lot. For some reason, that was easier, which
That would I would whenever I did it, I'd end up focusing on the teacher.
which is weird.
And they don't want you to do that.
Yeah,
though.
so they're older, so I'm focusing on them because that's more comfortable.
Well, I mean,
why?
they're the one giving you the grade too. But
Yeah, but still, for me, it wasn't. I didn't care about that.
Yeah.
It was just for some reason, it was more comforting. I guess just because they're older, I don't understand my brains, but
well, I feel like it's also a lot easier to talk to a new person if they are older, because it's not there's anything that's going to come out of that, really. You know what I mean? Than someone our age that you just met for the very first time.
yeah, we're all in the same boat. You're
Yeah.
more easily to relate to what's going on and everything. All right, so Nick, you're the king of public speaking for foreplay. I don't know where Kevin's
Something like that.
at on public speaking.
I think he'd be along with you guys. I don't think he likes public speaking.
Yeah. I think we may have talked about it because we had just talked about it privately recently. I think
Yeah.
the other day, but I wanted to talk about it on the show. Thank you guys for watching and or hearing and or listening and or viewing. This is the Foreplay podcast. Every day of the week, a new video go live at youtube.com/4playvideo. Please, if everyone could share this with your friends, we're trying to grow the channel. And then more importantly, subscribe. Those are the numbers that we need up.
Please. And
Fridays also, if you guys are in the cars and like listening to it on the road, subscribe to the podcast, the audio versions, if you just want to listen to the whole show. That's how I listen to all my personal podcasts, because it's too hard for me to watch most of the stuff now with my busy schedules. So you can subscribe to it on iTunes, Google Play Music, and it'll download directly to your phone every Friday. Keep coming back. We will see you in another lifetime. Maybe Kevin will be back. Maybe he's dead. Who knows? I'm Brandon. This is Mike. Nick.
I'm Player 2.
Fuck off. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for watching.
As we learn how to use the equipment, we hope the shows will look and sound better.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast on iTunes and other podcast services.
See you next time.